The internet detectives have just uncovered a sinister plan by OTF killers, and it all started with a revelation by none other than 50 Cent.
Even with Durk, I was telling him, I was like, yo, this is them right there. It's a real shit, right? He was like, yeah. And I said, yo, just watch him.
A recently surfaced interview has revealed that an event that saw Durk and his girlfriend almost lose their lives was an inside job.
Did they ever figure out who was behind that? That had to be an inside job.
The details of what happened are shocking, and it seems that Durk's team has no problem taking him out strap-in because this is a wild one. OTF killer's plan. Lil Durk's death. Although OTF guys would be the last ones to try to harm their boss, the proof is undeniable. These guys actually tried to rob Durkio. Remember in 2021 when Durk almost got murked at his house? Well, the facts of the incident have slowly been seeping through to the internet, and let's just say Dario shouldn't be trusting his OTF homies. DJ Academics broke the story in one of his Twitch live streams and uncovered some shocking information about what happened. Lil Durk's residence in Atlanta had strong police presence and was possibly raided due to an investigation about a shooting and other crimes. Academics said during a Twitch live stream that there was an alleged shooting around where he stayed. This is a gated neighborhood. They called him the victim. His neighbors and people that lived in that neighborhood have reported it to me that yo, Durk lived down there, and they're mad at cops. The FBI is trying to execute a search warrant in the months running up to the home invasion. Lil Durk faced personal tragedies and public attention. On June 4, 2021, Lil Durk released Voice of the Heroes, a collaborative studio record with fellow rapper Lil Baby. His joy would soon be turned to sadness because just 3 days later, his brother D-Thing would be shot and killed in Chicago. Lil Durk's brother was shot on June 7, 2021, on a Sunday morning outside a strip club in South suburban Harvey. The OTF affiliate was shot in the head and was declared dead at the scene. 1 month later, tragedy almost hit again on the evening of July 10, 2021. Durk and India Royale sought to escape the public eye and enjoy a quiet night at their home in the upscale Chateau Alon area of Bracon, Atlanta. This closed community, known for its exclusivity and security, seemed like the perfect place for the couple to find peace and privacy as they settled in for the night. There was no sign of the danger that lay ahead. The tranquility of their evening was suddenly shattered in the early hours of July 11th, around 5 a.m. A group of unidentified people targeted their residence, pushing their way inside with a boldness that defied the security measures of the gated community. The invasion was sudden and unexpected, taking Lil Durk and India Royale off guard in what should have been the safety of their own home. Upon entry, a shootout erupted. According to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, the couple traded gunfire with the intruders who managed to flee from the scene before cops took to the booth immediately to address the situation. And the track pissed me off, where he rapped, "You ain't get back for your mans. You in the club like he ain't dead. Nike ski mask for the co. The only time you wear it. Chosh. Ran inside my crib, but the Glock 10 was by the bed. I'll get my gun to India before I put it in your hand." In an interview with DJ Academics, the rapper admitted that he was forced to move houses after the incident.
Nobody is ever allowed to my house. My best friend never been in my house.
For real? Lie.
I promise.
Your best friend?
Promise. It's people that I just don't allow around my girl and my kids.
Now here's where the story gets interesting because Big Act revealed what everyone was thinking. It was an inside job.
Did they ever figure out who was behind that? That had to be an inside job.
There were other people who saw this too, like 50 Cent, who tried to warn Durkio about his gang. In 2022, 50 Cent and Lil Durk worked together on the song Power Powder Respect. When they worked together, 50 Cent was like a guide to Lil Durk and gave him great advice in an honest moment. In a show on The Breakfast Club, 50 Cent told Lil Durk to keep an eye on his group. Someone asked the musician if he ever tried to help younger artists stay away from the streets.
When you look at some of these younger artists and you see how they idolize you and idolize your music, and then you see them get caught up.
Yeah.
Do you have conversations with them? Like I remember Casanova, and you was trying to talk to Casanova, Troy Ave, and now Lil Durk. Do you have conversations with them and be like, I've seen this play before.
Durkio stated that even his best friend didn't know his new location.
Even with Durk, I was telling him, like, when I had him, he was in New York.
Yep.
Then, like, I was like, yo, this is them, right? It's a real, right? He was like, yeah. And I said, yo, just watch him. His crew.
It turns out even back then, someone in Durk's gang was on some funny business because the Chicago rapper told 50 Cent that someone had leaked his address and he almost got robbed in a home invasion.
When you said that to Durk, what was his response to you?
He said, you know what? He said, somebody just came in my house. How do they know exactly what the address is? I don't give my address to nobody. Like, this is not, because something happened.
The robbery in Georgia?
Yeah.
When India had to shoot?
He went straight to talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
It seems there's no honor among thieves, and although no one has confirmed that it was OTF guys who tried to rob Dirt, the information that has been flying around strongly points to them, and OTF is notorious in the streets because they have been involved in several shootings as well as carefully planned murders. The gang has hit the headlines after they planned an assassination for almost 2 years in what might be the craziest hit in hip-hop history. OTF killers are planning rappers' deaths. The OTF planned murder of Quando Rondo began back in 2020 after the death of King Von. What's crazy is that at one time, Quando Rondo was cool with Durk and OTF. In an interview with DJ Academics, Lil Durk admitted that he, V, and Quando were buddies and often clowned V's ops, 63rd, together.
I'm saying though, they are 63rd, some dirty
But all this love would soon turn to deep hate. One fateful night outside a club on August 5th, 2020, when Rondo took his homie Lil Tim to the club. Lil Tim had just gotten out of jail after he was arrested and charged with conspiracy to violate the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, theft by receiving stolen property, and obstruction after detectives discovered more than $16,000, 15 pounds of marijuana, and 2 firearms.
He just wanna, you feel me? He just got out of prison. He just wanna have fun.
However, Quando Rondo, who was with him, didn't want to party. Instead, he wanted to nap outside the club in the car. Interestingly, Lil Tim chose to stay with Quando in the car, which made all the difference.
He like, Lil Tim tell me, Lil bro, I'm not about to let you go in no club. He be like, no, Lil bro, I'm not about to let you sit in no car and go to sleep.
Right, by yourself.
You feel me? I'm about to sit in and roll up.
At the same time, King Vo had just left Opium Nightclub after successfully releasing his first album, Welcome to A Block, and went to the Monaco Hookah Lounge, where Quando and Lil Tim were just as V was about to leave his vehicle and head to the club. One of his homeboys told him that he had just seen fellow rapper Quando Rondo in the parking lot. V was out of the car in a split second and went toward Q's direction. Quando was now on his way to the club. Vaughn struck him with a few crew members behind him, knocking him to the ground. Vaughn's guys joined in and started raining blows on Quando as he tried vainly to escape his assailants. In a split second, Tim appeared from behind their car with a gun in hand and started letting off shots as everyone ran away. V was hit on his chest. 2 off-duty cops who were near the club started letting off shots and shot low. Tim, after the dust settled, V's guys pulled up next to him and loaded him into the vehicle before speeding to the closest hospital. Lil Tim limped into their car with Quando Rondo and drove to the hospital. As luck would have it, the 2 groups ended up in the same hospital. Luckily, there was no more bloodshed. Sadly, Vaughn passed away during surgery, according to court papers. Durk started plotting for Q's death instantly. When Vaughn was killed, rumors began to spread that Durk had put a bounty on Rondo's head, fueling speculation and fear within the industry. Turns out it was actually true, according to court records. OTF Jam told cops that after Vaughn's death, Durk used coded language to tell OTF members that he would pay a bounty to anyone who joined in Kill in Quando. Rondo Durk's cousin DeAndre Wilson also told OTF members that anyone who took part in the murder would be rewarded with lucrative music chances with OTF, which was also a music label. The first time Quando Rondo almost lost his life was back in 2021 in Georgia. The timeline of events leading up to the shooting incident involving Quando Rondo and his team in Georgia began on a seemingly ordinary Saturday night at a local club in Georgia. The club, located just a short drive from the eventual scene of the shooting, was buzzing with activity. As the night wore on, the performance went off without a hitch. And as the night drew to a close, Rondo and his entourage prepared to leave the venue in the early hours of Sunday morning. After the performance, the timeline took a dramatic turn as Rondo and his team departed from the club. They made a brief stop at a convenience store in Blackshear, Georgia, according to law enforcement sources. It was during this stop that shooting erupted, targeting the rapper and his team. It is thought that Quando Rondo was present at the scene when the gunfire began, although he was not there when authorities arrived. One member of Rondo's entourage was injured in the attack, suffering a gunshot wound to the hand. By August 2022, the situation hit a boiling point. According to federal court records, Lil Durk's associates allegedly learned that Quando Rondo was staying at a hotel in Los Angeles, and on August 18, 2022, Lil Durk's associates DeAndre Wilson, Keith Jones, David Lindsay, and ASA Houston arrived in Los Angeles. They had traveled from Chicago to San Diego and then driven to Los Angeles, allegedly using funds provided by Durk himself. Upon their arrival, the OTF members met with Con Grant, a top partner who had flown to Los Angeles on a private jet. Grant played a crucial role in facilitating the operation, getting hotel accommodations for the group, buying ski masks, and obtaining 2 luxury sedans to be used in the ambush, according to court records. Grant also gave Jones and Lindsay with firearms, including one that had been converted into a machine gun, further escalating the potential for violence as the day unfolded. The group allegedly started tracking Quando Rondo and his associate Robinson as they traveled around Los Angeles in a Cadillac Escalade. Their journey took them to various places, including a marijuana dispensary and a clothing store in West Hollywood. The tension was palpable as the suspects followed their targets, waiting for the opportune time to strike.
Wack a snitch. Wack is a cop working. If you notice, every time something happens in the street, like with the Quando Rondo situation, how do you know so much about? Like, I don't even know that much about that. You talk about he done robbed a nigga and did this. Like, right. How do you know this unless you getting police reports?
When Quando Rondo was shot at while in Atlanta, leading to his death, Wack had admitted that it was a drug deal gone bad.
We all thought that was a bad drug deal, weed deal. You know that. The world thought that shooting was a bad weed deal between some Armenians or Persians. That's what the world thought.
At one point, even world star hip-hop put out a now-deleted video saying that Wack was a federal informant.
I went to my favorite hip-hop platform, World Star Hip Hop, and I got some bad news. I found out that my big homie was talking to the cops.
Who's that? Who, me?
What do you think I should do to him?
Who's talking to the...
But now the tables have turned, and Wack 100 is charging Brick Baby of snitching on Lil Durk and bringing down OTF in a podcast with Adam 22. Wack stated that according to his sources, Brick Baby is working with the feds.
You think that he's a federal informant?
I think he's definitely working.
Now here's where the claims between Wack 100 and Brick Baby get interesting. Months before Lil Durk and his fellow OTF members were arrested, Brick Baby had his house raided by the feds. What's weird is that although Brick was picked up by the feds and had to be bailed out by Adam 22, no charges were ever brought up against him, which, according to Wack 100, means that Brick must be tainted and is feeding the feds information.
How do you react to the narrative that Wack has been consistently putting out there, which is basically him saying that Brick maybe must be cooperating or compromised in some way because you allegedly got arrested by the feds and there's no charges? So what do you say when you see him saying that?
Well, months later, Wack 100 finally told why Brick had been snitched up by the feds at his house. According to Wack Brick, Baby had gone on a podcast and snitched on Durk and OTF.
And it wasn't until February of 2023 that Brick Baby goes on the internet with Flacco and says, out of nowhere, The world is oblivious to this. I guess they can't say OTF didn't slide for King Von anymore.
While on a show with Poetic Flacco, Brick Baby had revealed that no one says that V's death wasn't avenged because OTF had taken out Quando Rondo's cousin.
They say you can't say that no more.
Why? Oh yeah, because of no. Like
They
who
say
died?
you can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FBG Cash? Oh, who?
Nah, cause Lil Pop.
What's crazy is that he wasn't the only one who snitched because Lil Durk also went on DJ Academic's show and said the exact thing in the interview. DJ Academics asked the rapper what he thought about people telling him to slide for Von.
You get triggered by the slide for Von comments. I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mention a song. They be like, they be saying slide for Von. I think they trolling me.
Well, according to Lil Durk, there was a reason those comments had long disappeared from the internet.
For some reason, I just don't see the comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing the comments a lot?
They kind of chilled out.
It turns out that after Brick Baby's truth-telling session on the podcast, the feds got a search warrant. Now, according to WAC 100, the feds had come to get Brick Baby's phone, which had some pretty interesting information, and at the time, Brick never revealed that the feds came for his cell phone. Instead, he told everyone that he had caught a gun charge.
March, the feds get on Brick. We don't know this. We're under the presumption that it's an AK-47 case. But what really happened was they came there to get his cell phone.
Things got even more fishy after Brick was never charged because till now, he doesn't have a court date for his gun charge. This is very strange given that Brick is a criminal and a known gang member, and getting a gun charge would see him behind bars for a long time. According to Brick, the reason there's no court date is because the DA dropped his case because of lack of proof.
Why would the DA reject the charge?
It's not they rejected. They just is not enough evidence for them. They got to look at the case and say, can I beat this in trial?
But the comment section wasn't having it and thinks that he's definitely snitching. Brick is definitely a side snitch. Why'd he get raided quickly after saying what he said? One response said, "Brick's scared. You can tell. And talking like a rat explains a lot and comes off trying to convince and distract by leaving and bouncing around." It went from him being a rat to talking about court and what they do. Another statement read after, Durk's indictment became public, and WAC 100 dropped the final nail in Brick Baby's coffin and revealed that the reason the feds wanted Brick's phone was because Tay thought that he was working with OTF members on the day of the shooting and providing the hitman with Quando Rondo's location.
If you go in there and look at that report, number 4 is a local guy that was dropping Quando's locations.
According to WAC, after the shooting, the feds told Quando Rondo that he had been set up by his gang, the Rolling 60s Crips.
What you think the police told Quando?
That the Rolling 60s set him up?
It turns out Brick Baby and Quando Rondo were repping the same game, and when Quando landed in Atlanta, he checked in with his gang for safety.
What was he claiming?
Rolling 60s Crip.
Where Brick Baby from?
Rolling 60s Crip.
Who you think he checked in with?
Rolling 60s?
With who?
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
That's why the Savannah rapper took to social media to denounce his gang, saying that they didn't have his back. The accusations against Brick Baby are getting clearer and more public by the day, but he isn't the only one connected with OTF who's accused of truth-telling, because one of Durk's closest homies has also been ratted out for being a snitch, and his story is wild. This is none other than OTF Jam.
There is the rumor that's going around that there's an individual that goes by the name of OTF Jam, and they're saying that he wore a wire.
From the day the news about OTF being brought down went public, there's been one name that has constantly been put on blast for being an informer. That's none other than OTF Jam. Things went from bad to worse for the OTF rapper after damning photos of him coming up to the feds emerged and went viral on the internet. DJ Academics posted this picture of the alleged snitch in an interrogation room filling up on some fries and fried chicken, and all eyes were on him. But just like Brick Baby Jam, he went on to defend himself. The OTF affiliate took to his social media to put the record straight and told the world to stop accusing him of snitching until they saw his name on police papers. Casey J. Hester, aka OOTF Jam, is my artist real name until you see that name on the papers. Don't at me. He wrote that the situation at OTF worsened after none of the OTF affiliates co-signed Jam. No one tried to have his back even though they were all on the internet screaming, "Free Durk." Well, OTF Jam went a step further and accused Durkio of snitching on him. He first announced that Durkio snitched on him on a track, calling him a rat or a snitch, but rapping snitch on themselves all the time. He posted Jam was talking about the track Back Again where Durk raps Jam, "Get out that at Jam." I give him 50. I ain't gotta ask again. He was catching killers way back then. That's when the Max was in. Remember, OTF Jam had been released after doing time for attempted murder, and Durkio gave him 50 bands.
Say he ain't gotta ask shit, bro. He said he gave you 50, bro. You know what I'm saying? Facts.
Turns out that after the cops heard Durk rapping about Jam catching bodies, they were on to him, waiting for him to make a mistake and take him back to jail. Who snitched on who? He snitched on me on a song. Police all up on me after that. Oh, he's catching killers. Let's get him. Jam posted the OTF case keeps getting wild, and it seems more of Durk's affiliates and friends are turning their backs on him, and it's sad to see. But what do you expect from guys who supposedly robbed their own boss? If you liked this video, you can watch similar content by clicking on the boxes playing on your screen.